Well, hello there, my dear friends. Welcome once again to Blind Dad Does. My name is Ira, and Blind Dad right now is, back online trying to do a little bit of art. A little bit of an art stream, trying to accomplish something decent, and hopefully you guys are going to enjoy the ride and wherever it may take us. There are all kinds of random things that happen with my brain, and so hopefully everybody out there is having a really good day. I had a good day today. We had a couple of appointments that we had to do, so I thought maybe I'd be running a little bit late tonight, but I ended up actually, hitting it on time. It's kind of one of the problems when you're living rural. You have to kind of make longer trips everywhere that you go. But it has been a good day. I filled myself up with some chicken and potatoes, and that's always a good thing, right? So, what's everybody up to? How you doing? Hi out there, and welcome once again. So, yesterday, I wanted to make sure to show you guys this. Yesterday, when I was working on the art stream, I did come up with a little bit of something. I'm going to go with a little bit of black screen here for just a brief moment, sorry. But this little gal here is what ended up coming out of the stream. Oop, and I need to make sure that that is going to be sized enough to be able to be seen. There we go. That should be more appropriate. There we go. So that's who came out yesterday on the stream. And I think it turned out pretty good. There's a lot more detailing that I could do, a lot more different things that I could do. But one of the things that I like to do is just, play with it until the whatever wants to come out comes out, and go from there. So I am a blind guy. For those of you guys just tuning in, well, hello and welcome. Where have you been? I've been here forever. But I am a blind guy, so I try to do things in a bit of a different way because I have to sort of facilitate what my vision can and cannot do. There are certain things that I cannot do, such as line art. I suck at it. The main reason why I suck at it is because every line that gets drawn on the screen becomes 100 lines. It is pretty horrible, to say the least. But I have kind of figured out a few techniques over the years because I've been doing it for a long time. And I've been blind for a long time. So I've figured out a few different techniques that I can do to make it so that the vision issues don't interfere as much as what they could, I guess. So let me go ahead and go over here to my Photoshop screen. You guys should see it. Yep, there we go. And I will say, I'm still quite a bit nervous about doing this on camera because quite frankly, being a blind person and exposing yourself in this kind of a way is a little bit nerve-wracking. It is. But I am grateful for the support that has been given so far with the community, especially on Twitch, because I do stream both to YouTube and Twitch. But Twitch has been very welcoming to me, and I'm very, very deeply appreciative of all of the things that you guys have done for me. My gratitude really cannot be expressed in words. So let me go over here to Photoshop. I'm going to create a new layer or new canvas, and I think I'm going to go ahead and start it off doing a portrait style for this time. Make sure that's okay. Yeah, that should be that should be the right one. And then I'm going to I'm going to teach you guys this technique that I do. Okay. And I hope that you can maybe take it and run with it for your own self and see what you can accomplish with it. Because the way that I do things, one of the advantages of it is that you can use it as a way to generate ideas for yourself without working a whole lot to get it done. So I'm going to create a new canvas, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to set a color that's different than either black or white. Most of the time I'll do it with black, but just to show you guys a little bit of how I can do things or how I do things with it all, I'll do a different color as the base. Maybe a red, I guess that would work. And I will do like a darker color. I won't do a bright one, but I'll do a darker color just because the bright, it kind of murders my eyes a little bit. So I'll do that color right there. Let's go ahead and create this canvas. Okay. And I'm going to put the view to full, well, not full screen, but so that it's fitting on screen. If I can find the right thing. There we go. Okay. So, and just to warn you, as I'm working, you're going to see my face making all kinds of weird contorted things. Please pardon me. I'm not like having a stroke or freaking out or anything like that. I'm just trying to be able to see well enough by squinting, by putting my hands up on my eyes and that kind of thing to narrow my vision just a little bit more so that I can kind of binocularize into it, I guess you could say. Little weird, but okay. So here's what I do. I do work in Photoshop. Primarily. There are other tools I know that could work a little bit better, but I'm not sure how well they would actually work with the particular style of things that I need to do. And if you guys know, actually, if there's something that's similar to this in other programs, please let me know, because I would be happy to check things out. But what I do is I start off with a new layer. So I leave that background layer sometimes intact. Sometimes I'll do a new layer. In fact, I'll just go ahead and, yeah, we'll just leave the layer as it stands. But the main tool I use is right here, the pattern stamp tool. So if you are just loading up Photoshop for the first time, or you've never messed around with this tool before, usually you'll be on the clone stamp tool, which means that, you know, you can select an area and you can copy whatever is in that area, right? But what I do, not the clone stamp tool, I use the pattern stamp tool. Now, here's where this little technique comes into play. Okay. So, first thing to notice is that I use a brush that is very bizarre. Like, it kind of looks like a foot, or like a weird Muppet with his mouth open or something like that. I don't know. Weird. But the reason why I use this brush is because I have it set so that every time that I push the brush down, it jitters the brush at random. And it has enough of a weird, distinct set of patterns that when I do this technique, it lays out a lot of patterning on the screen for me. So the second thing that you need to do is on the pattern stamp tool, up here at the top, there is an option to use whatever pattern you want. Now, these are ones that I have created based on either images that I've done before or different ones that I found like on the net from artists that I was inspired by. I liked their color palettes, and that's basically all that we're doing with this, is using the color palette that's laying there. So as you can see, I've got a few different ones that are in here, just random colors basically that I can make use of. Let's try this one here today and see what happens. Now, the next important stage of things is that you want to have this right here check marked so that the impressionist is turned on. The reason why to do that is because with the pattern stamp tool, it is much like the clone tool, that if you have a pattern that's here and you run the brush across, it's just going to simply copy that pattern over. And we're not doing that. We're not here to copy another artist's work. We're just wanting to get inspired by the color palette that they made use of. So if you have the impressionist turned on, then when you lay the thing across, you see it's just laying out colors at random and patterns, you see. So the technique that I make use of is to basically make it like cloud watching. You know, you look up into the clouds, you see the bunny rabbit up in the clouds, you know, and the next person that's next to you might see, I don't know, a snake. They might see a Gundam coming down and attacking everything, or some, you know, random stuff, right? Just whatever your mind happens to latch onto at that moment in time is what you want to run with. So that is basically the method that I do. I will just like run my brush across in random ways, random directions. I will sometimes turn the opacity up, I'll turn it down, you know, because each thing has an impact on what the rest is going to show. So you see, this is like vastly different. Like, again, if I create a new layer and I set this to 100% opacity, and then I do the turn the impressionist off, you'll see this is what the pattern looked like originally, right? It's and you can only see like a part of it, right? So it's like it really randomizes everything within this brush. So that's part of the point. And then you can also turn the aligned off so that it completely 100% randomizes every single thing that's going on. So that's the point though, is that you want to like make use of the colors, and you want to do a brush. Like if I was to do this with a brush that is like this one here, right? If I was to do the same thing with this brush, you see it acts different. It just lays out the colors, but it doesn't give you any textures to work with, you see? So you want to use a brush that is kind of dramatic. And now I got to find that brush again. that has a bit of a dramatic effect to it. It has a jitter to it, you know, all that kind of good stuff. It really needs to have that kind of a thing, right? So give me a moment. Let me find that brush because I need to make sure. And I've got so many dang brushes, unfortunately. So I got to lean in really close to the screen here to be able to see it. So pardon me while I do that. Sorry guys, bear with me and have patience. I'm just trying to find which one it is because I haven't changed the brush out for a long time and I don't remember what it's named. And I have like hundreds of brushes in this program, so just bear with me. Sorry. Well, this is kind of boring, guys. I'm sorry. Lord, there are so many brushes in here. So the problem is that I thought I had it set, like saved into the top level of the brush sets. And apparently I didn't. I had to reset my Photoshop not too long ago. And I think when I did that, it reset the brushes too, which is, yeah, not optimal. You know what I mean?
Hello, best friends.
Lady Paints a Lot, thank you so much for the follow. My goodness, I so deeply appreciate it. I'm sorry if this is a little boring at the moment. I'm trying to find the right brush. It's like crazy. I switched out so that I could show people like how things are done, you know, in the technique that I use. And then I lost the brush that I normally use. It's like, oh no. And unfortunately I have like hundreds of brushes set up in the Photoshop here. So I'm sorry if this is just a tad boring at the moment. But I ran across you. I ended up following you earlier today. One of my viewers last night mentioned you and how you were really good. And that you also had like some things that you have to deal with when you're doing things. So, you know, I'm a blind guy, right? I'm blind, so I'm trying to do all of this while trying to, you know, deal with the vision issues and everything. I'm just like, oh God. It's crazy. Yeah. See, like I thought I had it set on the top level. You know, when you're in Photoshop, you can set it so that different brushes and stuff like that are saved into different sections and stuff. And apparently I never did. I thought I swear I did. And apparently not. I don't know. So I'm trying to figure out what to do from here. Yeah, me too. It's like I'm already so nervous about sharing my process, and then this ends up happening. I'm like, oh God, no. Normally my wife helps me out with it, but she passed out. She had to go to sleep. She only got like 2 hours worth of sleep last night, so she had to pass out. And I'm like tempted to be like, honey, can you help me find a brush? She would murder me if I did that though. Oh, I found it. Yay. Okay. Let me see. Can I save this somewhere specifically? I hope so. Oh God, I hope so. Let's see. There we go. Okay. Whew. Okay. Let me catch up on the chat here. Painted with a brush in his mouth. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. I've known a couple other people over the years too who have had that kind of a thing, and it really is. It's absolutely inspiring to me to know that, like, even with my issues, there are people that are out there that are really good, like really good, and that they have these issues too. So that's kind of what actually got me into doing art to begin with, because, you know, I've had this blindness for about 12 years, 13 years now, almost. Well, it kind of like started kicking in a little bit younger, but it really, like, the plateau that I'm at right now kicked in about 12 years ago. And before then I was doing photography and digital painting and that kind of thing. And I gave it up for a really long time because I was so depressed about it. Like, I just could not figure out what to do for myself, you know, to get myself back into the creative mode. So finally I said, you know what, I got to do this. If I've got the bug in me, I've got the need and the desire in me, I really need to make sure that I'm doing this. So I figured out a technique for myself that it works for me, and I don't know how well it would work for other people, but it works for me. So what I do, I'll go back into it again since now I'm working with the right tool here. So what I do is I use in Photoshop. I gotta find the brush again. I use in Photoshop. Did I get the right one? Shoot. There we go. I used the tool pattern stamp tool. And then I go into the settings of it and I set the impressionist on and I set the aligned on. And then I just put in like either images that I've created or that others have created to use the color palette that's there, sort of as an inspiration, you know? And so then what I do is I just randomly lay down paint, you know, just scatter paint along, whatever my hand wants to decide to do, you know, that's where the paint goes. And so then it's kind of like a matter of, cloud watching. In a way, you know, where people will see the bunny in the clouds or something like that, and the next person sees a dragon or something. Well, for me, this is a type of cloud watching, but I use this brush in particular because I have it set up so that every time that I tap the brush, it jitters the brush and it like changes the settings on it, so that when I tap it, then like different splotches will appear everywhere. So I'll just kind of look as best as I can, but it works for me because the main issue with my eyes that I have is that I see too much instead of too little. So the particular kind of blindness that I have is pretty wicked bizarre. Basically, if I was to put a line down, okay, just a straight line down, I not only see this line, but I see multiple other lines as well. So I'll see like dozens of lines down here. There's dozens of lines up here. They're all warping, they're shifting, you know, they're all over the place. And at the same time, with each beat that my heart does, the whole world pulses with it. So between everything, it's really difficult for me to work with like line art and that kind of thing. So what I ended up doing was I figured out this little technique to use so that I can try to find something that my brain will latch onto that works with my vision actually in a weird way, because like, okay, so for instance, if I look at this, there's maybe like a weird, how can I put this? Okay, so I can almost see like there's a face that's right here, right? And it's sort of a side view of a person that they're kind of bent over and leaning over. So like, you know, that's really bad on their head, but you know, their head is like right here, and you know, maybe this is their shoulders and that kind of thing. So I could like draw out from there an image, you know, for something. So oh no, I hate storms. We live in a rural area, so anytime a storm happens, it's like, you know, a cow farts in the wind the wrong way and we lose power or we lose internet. It's pretty crazy. I hate the fact that we live this rural with it, but I'm lucky that we have the internet that we do, you know? So, anyways, so like I try to just figure out through the splotches, you know, something that I can make use of, you know? So like this could be a figure of like, I don't know, somebody from behind, you know, and they're kind of walking over into like a storm or darkness or something like that, you know, just something like it could almost be like a creature too, you know, maybe like right here's his eyes or something like that, you know, here's his mouth, and you know, could draw out from there, you know, something that he would do. But it's like the way that I work, it's kind of bizarre, but it works out in the end. Like yesterday on the stream, I ended up making this, is what decided to show herself, you know? So, well, hey, Robin, how you doing, Sissa? I'm just getting started here. I messed up. I lost my brush. So I had to spend like 5 minutes trying to find the brush again. So how you doing today? I hope everything is good. Yeah, it's crazy. I was trying to show some technique that I do, and I switched brushes in the tool, and I thought that I had this brush saved, and apparently I didn't. So I had to like try desperately to seek it out again. And unfortunately, I've got like hundreds of brushes that are stored in this program. So it took me a little bit of time to work out where it was and how to use it. You can't breathe today. Your issue's kicking in really hard on you today. Jolene's been having some troubles too today. Let's see. Just trying to find something that I can work with tonight. You know, something that wants to come out and show itself today. I don't know if anybody will with this particular one or not. Yeah, I know it's really affecting people really hard. Even this far away from where we are, it's really affecting people in a big way. Not good. Not a good situation at all. So for those of you guys just tuning in, welcome. How you doing today? My name is Ira. This is Blind Dad Does. Right now, Blind Dad is just trying to come up with something to work with, something to run with, and I'm not sure what wants to come out today. Somebody will make an appearance, though. Somebody will. They always do, eventually. So this one could be weird. Could be kind of like an alien. Like I'm seeing like an alien woman or something. Like this right here is like the line of her face, right? And then like here could be her head, and then the rest of her body is kind of like, in this zone here, I guess. So like, again, weird how it works out for me, but this is kind of what I see, Oh yeah, did you? See that? It's cool, right? It's doing this kind of a technique. It's a good way to like do a little bit of cloud watching, I guess, is the best way that I can mark it down. You try to find something that your brain can latch onto that you can then, like through putting in shading and light, draw out, from this mess, this conglomeration of stuff, So, so like again, yesterday when I did the stream, it started off it ended up like this, but I can show you actually, the way that it started off was really bizarre. Let's see. This one here. So, like I said, this is the final product, right? But the beginning, it came from this, you see? So I went from this to this. And it's like, it's weird how my mind works. It's weird how my mind wraps around it, right? But this is what ends up happening to me, Oop, I'm sorry. I didn't even have darn it. There. This is what it started off with. So I went from this to this, with just the randomness that my brain does. And I don't know, I kind of dig it, but at the same time, it's a little bit of a pain in the butt because I don't know, like from moment to moment when sitting down, what's going to want to make the appearance. You see what I mean? But it's sort of a thing where I also enjoy the process of it because I never know what I'm going to get. It's like there's always somebody new that wants to come say hi to me on the canvas, you see? And sometimes it's a landscape, sometimes it's a figure or something like that. It's always something different. My mind will go, "Ooh, I'm kind of inspired by that. Let's run with that," So I do kind of dig this. I think I will try to run with this and see what wants to happen, So why don't we do that? I'm going to go from the pattern stamp tool. I'll just do a new layer, and I'm going to switch brushes as well because this brush is good, but it's not the greatest for doing this kind of a thing. So I'm going to use this brush right here. This one's pretty good for doing like the sketchy kind of stuff, for me anyway. I need to change the opacity on it because I need it a little bit on the lower side, just so I have a little bit more of a control factor of it. I don't know, we'll do like 25%, that'll work. And we'll see what happens from here. Either way, I need to scooch myself a little bit closer. I don't know if I'm still in frame or what, but I'll try. Yeah, me too. This is a really nice color pattern, I think. I can really dig this. I can get behind this one. It's kind of weird, like when doing that pattern stamp tool, sometimes the random colors that come up are a little ugly. You know, they're a little bit heinous to try to work with. But this one in particular, I kind of like. It's nice. It's got a good vibe to it. So what I'm kind of seeing is that like this might be actually like, yes, a woman figure, but it's more like an alien, like, I don't know, some kind of forest creature of some kind that I can try to bring out. And so like what I'm thinking is that this area right here is sort of like a foreground rocky area, and they're kind of walking behind it, you know? So it's like this is the foreground, she's kind of mid-ground, and this is actually the background, you know, that's really kind of hard to discern and that kind of stuff. So that's sort of what I'm trying to run with here. See what happens. I don't know how it'll turn out. Yeah, I have zero clue at this point how it's going to turn out or what's going to happen with it, but I don't know. We'll see. Could be cool. Something unique and different. Something never before seen. So I'm just kind of like splotching some colors around a little bit just to kind of, again, kind of bring out the foreground compared to the midground and that kind of stuff. It would be kind of cool to keep this kind of almost leafy looking kind of a thing there, you know, like as part of her face or something. I'm going with the idea of a she, but I don't know. It may turn out to be a guy after all. I have no idea at this point. Three, right? I mean, that happens sometimes, right? That really does, and it gets distracting for me sometimes too if there's like a little too much, you know. But that's why I'm trying to do as much as I can to catch what I'm seeing. So it's like I'm seeing like a side view. So right here's the eye, the mouth. There's like a really extended nose, a very protracted mouth jaw line, that kind of thing, you know. So it's like I'm definitely seeing like a weird forest creature here as opposed to a human figure, you know. And almost reminiscent of a swamp thing, you know. Right, me too. And I think that's one of the reasons why this technique works really well for me, is because that is definitely a thing for me. I quote unquote suffer from that a lot, you know what I mean? A lot. I don't know how well this technique would work for other people. I mean, that's the bizarre thing, is that I don't know, it works for me, but it may not for anybody else. It's almost like looking like a lizard creature at the moment. I don't know. Right, yeah, kind of along those lines, yeah. What the heck is up with this movie? Or this movie. Nope. Gonna skip that one. Thank you very much. That is not the kind of thing I want to hear right now. Hey there, how you doing today? It's very nice to see you, and I hope that you are having an amazing day. I'm just sitting here trying to do a little bit of creation. I don't know how well it's turning out, but I'm just kind of getting started with it. Within the past few minutes, I finally got something that I could latch hold of and try to make something out of. So I guess it's kind of like a weird foresty, almost dragony lizard thing. I don't know. Kind of weird. But we'll run with it. We'll see where it takes us. I don't know where it's going to end. But I hope that your day is going really well over there. So I'm trying to kind of like mess around a little bit with the foregrounding here to make it so that it's discerned that this is different than this, if that makes sense. And I'm not sure what direction I'm going to go with it quite yet, but just splitting it up a little bit, you know, giving it a little bit of that foreground taste. Thank you. I appreciate it. It's going pretty well. I had kind of troubles. I've had a pain day today, unfortunately, but I'm getting by, and being here on the stream with you guys is definitely helping out a lot. You know, it's definitely helping the pain levels ease up. So far, so good. Can't complain too hard. It doesn't get me anywhere anyway, right? That's the way it goes. I kind of want to give a little bit of like redness into the creature too. I feel like that's what it's wanting. Kind of filling in some of the shadowed areas, maybe with a little bit of red, you know, to give it something to beef it up a little. I don't know. It's a little weird. It's a little weird. I might run with something different because I don't know if I'm really feeling this one as much as I'd like to, I guess is the main thing. It's not bad. Like it's got a start, right? But I don't know. I think I'll do a different one. Okay, let me reset things here. I'll just kind of run with what's there because, I don't know, it might add something interesting to the patterns of things. Let's see, let me set the tool a little bit bigger here. Let's plop things down here real quick. Okay, so who wants to... Wow, that was weird. Who wants to make an appearance today? This has the start of kind of a cool landscape sort of a thing, but I'm not necessarily feeling a landscape at the moment. All right, let me go with something darker. Let's see what happens here. It's not quite as dark as I wanted it to be, but okay, this too could be a kind of a cool landscape where this section right in here could be like an outcrop of a rock or something like that, and it's like a storm type of deal. I don't know, something weird like that. Try this one. Yeah, let's go with this. Let's see what happens here. Go with radically different. Okay, this could be an alien kind of a figure. But I'm not feeling you today, Mr. Alien. Nah, I'll pass on you. But thank you. Thank you for showing yourself. Okay, if you wanted to go really weird, this almost looks like an infant kind of a figure in some hands or something. E.T. phone home, yeah. It's about what it looked like. It had that kind of impression to me too. See, if I wanted to go grotesque today, there's already something happening here. This could be like an elongated snake-like figure, and right here is like its head, you know? Like it looks like it's turned to me and smiling almost like with a skull kind of a thing. I don't know. I'm weird. I'm weird, guys. I am. I'm weird. You guys are tuning in for the weird. The grotesque mind of Ira will come up with the bizarrest crap, I'm telling you. It really will. That's why I'm a writer. Okay, so this could be something. Let's see. Let me fill in some of these areas here. Again, this is all about like wherever inspiration is going to take you, you know. That's the thing. It's there's no rules to it. There's no right to it. There's no wrong to it. It's whatever ends up coming out, you know? So what I'm seeing here is like a robed or like a figure that's standing here on a rock, you know? And like there's a storm brewing or something like that. And he's like in a cloak right here, and we're seeing the back view of him. Right. Do you guys see it? Kind of catch it what I'm doing it. Yeah, I got to let the weird flow, you know? You really do. Second run with this. I think this could work. Let me see what I can do here. Right, or a Black Knight, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, something along those lines is what I was kind of queuing up into. Trying to figure out where the proportions are going to need to be, you know, to make it fit correctly for him. Yeah, maybe something along those lines is going to be correct on proportions once I get it filled out a little bit better. Yeah, that's not too bad. What do you think? Or am I seeing the proportions wrong? I'd love to have some feedback with it. So for those of you guys just tuning in, welcome. How you doing? This is Blind Dad Does. My name is Ira, and I hope that you guys are having a really good day. Right now, we're just kind of getting a little bit of a start with maybe something that'll turn out okay. I have to do things in a little bit of a weird way because I am blind, and it can make things a little bit touch and go for me sometimes. But I don't know. I'm feeling this one so far. I think this will turn out okay. Maybe. If I work hard. Really hard. I'm digging it so far. It's not too bad, I think. At least at the moment. For what it is. For random splotches on the paint. I do think I'm going to change things up just slightly. I'm going to have this actually be their head instead of a cloak, like in here. And I want to have like hair coming down over the, like spilling over the back, basically, to try to show like the breeze and that kind of thing going. I'm just kind of preparing the spot for where that might happen. Hey, Sav. So, trying to come up with just anything really. I started off with a bit of a weird thing that was going on. This, and I kind of moved away from doing that into what you're seeing right now, which is, well, hopefully going to turn out okay. Wow, that's kind of neat, actually. That is coming out. Random bit of interesting there. Ooh, actually, that's kind of neat like that. I might go with that, actually. That's pretty cool. I like it when random happens, right? So anyways, just kind of like trying to work out something, you know? the way that I work is very different. Because I can't do line art, I have to do things in a little bit of a different way to make things happen, you know? And so I splotch paint across the canvas. I try to do kind of like a cloud watching sort of a thing to pick out what might be there or what might not be there. And then through the process of adding in shadows and light, try to bring forward whatever wants to be making an appearance in that moment in time. So it's kind of a order out of chaos situation, I guess you could say, you know? So trying to bring order out of this randomness that ends up happening, and see what wants to say hello. So right now it's kind of like a almost a dark night figure kind of a thing, you know what I mean? But we'll run with it and we'll see what ends up happening. I was going to go a certain direction, then I'm just did this at random and I'm like, oh, hey, actually this is, I think, even better to try to work with. So that happens sometimes, you know, I'll go through trying to figure out what I want to have happen, and then it doesn't always work out the first way around, you know what I mean? So then I have to adjust, change things on the fly a little bit. Let's see what happens next, you know, that sort of thing. Actually, I just realized I'm on the wrong tool. There we go. That's better. I was wondering why it wasn't working right. My cats are going crazy in the bathtub. I don't know why. How's your day going, Sav? How you doing over there? Either way, as always, I am very grateful that you're here with me. I am super happy though. As of today, I am so close to getting affiliate status on Twitch. Very, very close. I need to get more average viewers on Twitch. Otherwise, I have everything qualified for it. And I'm so, so happy that that is happening. So if you guys are over on YouTube watching, I would really appreciate it if you guys would go over and watch on Twitch too. The username on Twitch is the same, Blind Dad Does. If you guys would mind like switching over to Twitch, that would be really great, because I am trying to get that average viewership there, you know. So some GTA. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. That's awesome. I have that game. I have GTA 5, but I've actually never played it. I own it, but I've never played it. Go figure. I just haven't had time to do it. I've heard it's a pretty cool game, though. I mean, it's popular for a reason, you know. Yeah, I know you are over there, Robin. I can tell. I appreciate it. I was told there'd be punch and pie, and I'm disappointed that there's no punch and pie. So to those of you guys just tuning in, welcome. Where have you been? I've been here forever. I'm very grateful that you guys are here, though. Seriously. I cannot express in words how much I appreciate the fact that you guys are here. I'm very nervous about doing this on stream. Until a couple of days ago, I've never shown anybody my process of creation. Never. The only person who's ever seen me create something is my wife, and I barely tolerate her being around when I do it. So it's a little bizarre for me yet, you know. I'm not used to it, and I hope that you guys are going to be, you know, enjoying it, patient with me as I try to make this stuff happen and figure out what I'm doing and like how to explain what I'm doing. That's part of the difficulty, is that a lot of the things that I do with it are so bizarre and so different from what people normally do. So it's like I don't know exactly how to explain everything, at least yet, because so much of it is like just instinct, you know, because my eyes work so differently than everybody else's does. I've got to do things a little twisted. So the only thing I can hope is that you guys will be able to see what I'm seeing at the end of things, you know. Looking a bit like me. A little twisted, a little weird. So like right now, what I'm trying to do is separate out the figure a little bit from where the background is so that I can discern where the highlights are going to need to go and where the shadows are going to need to go. And I'm trying to figure out, like, proportions wise, what direction are they actually facing? So, you know, if if they're sitting here like, or standing here like this, you know, are we, like, how much of their face are we going to be able to see, you know? And from my impressions of it, it's just that little bit of a sliver of the face that they're kind of looking over that direction, you know, that way, you know? So, if that's the case, then we're not going to be seeing a lot of their face. We're just going to be seeing a little bit of it, and the rest of it's going to be the hair covering it up, you know? Could go really bizarre and do like, oh, he's a vampire with a cloak, you know? I mean, or she. I'm not discounting the fact that it could be a female at this point either, you know? So like I can tell by the way the figure is standing that right now the cloak is too wide. You see what I mean? Like the cloak is too far over this way for the proportions to be correct. So I've got to try to correct that. But I don't want to overcorrect because of the way my eyes work. Because I see like this cloak. Okay. Let me squint down. Like for you guys, this cloak is probably about like this. At least from what I can discern. Okay. So for me, it's more like this. Okay. So what I need to do is to cut it down so that it's perhaps like this, right? Without overdoing it as I'm doing it. So it's like it's a slower process for me than what people normally would do. You know, normally people would just be like, boop, there you go, you know. Not me. I got to be the hard knocker, you know. I got to try to figure all this stuff out on the fly. Right, potentially. Yeah. Yeah. Very well could be that. So like to show something like that, I might could do something like a sword here, and his hand is like coming out or something like that, you know, and he's like standing there with a sword, you know, like going into the ground or something like that. You know, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what he's doing yet. That's the weird thing with this, is that like when people would go into doing this kind of an art, you know, quote unquote fine art or whatever you want to put it, they would either go into it with an idea already in their head of what they want to do, or like a plan of action of some kind. Whereas with me, because of the way my eyes work and because of the way that this creation process works, I don't know until you guys see it what is going to be happening with this figure. You see what I mean? Like, I don't know until I know. I hope that makes sense. It's weird. Hey, Jam, welcome. How you doing today? How you doing today, my friend? I'm doing pretty well. I've had a pain day today, but this stream is definitely helping out. Being here with you guys is helping to energize my pain a little bit and making it feel a lot better. Yeah, I'm just trying to come up with a little something here that I can work with. So I've been doing some bizarre things. When I first started tonight, like this is how this figure originally was right here, right? But when I first started things tonight, this is what I was originally kind of working with, what my brain came up with. And I wasn't feeling it as much as I could, you know? So maybe someday I'll work on this creature. She does want to make an appearance. Obviously, she wants to be here. She wants to exist, to be created, but I'm not ready for her today. So I started things over. And now this is basically what I've got. So I'm trying to figure out what the person is doing, how they want to be, you know, who they are, what is the drama in the scene, what is going on that they're in this frame at this moment in time. You know what I mean? And I think it's turning out interesting so far. I am liking what I'm seeing so far. So I'm going to run with it and follow wherever it wants to go. I have a couple of ideas in my mind about what I want to do with it, but I'm kind of at this point right now, trying to figure out proportionally how this person needs to be, you know, like the direction they're facing, what they're doing as they're here. Are they walking? Are they kneeling? I mean, they could be either in this case, you know? So, I think they're walking, right? And so like this section down in here, let me do this here. So this section right here is the foreground. You know, this is what the camera is closest to, right? The figure themselves is in the midground, and then all the rest is in the background, right? So I'm trying to figure out proportionally what this person is doing, where they're looking, you know, because I have a feeling they're kind of like looking that way right there. So I'm trying to like decide, okay, how much of the face would be showing if that was the case, right? And where are their shoulders going to be? You know, where are they wearing armor? Is this cloak like covering a set of armor? Therefore, their shoulders are going to be a little wider. Is this, you know, figure walking or are they standing? You know, all that kind of stuff. So, it's a slower process for me compared to what other artists might do because of the way that I have to work. It's harder, you know, I won't bite any bones about it. It's harder than what a lot of other people have to deal with, but it's what I have. It's what I run with. It's what I was given, you know? So I kind of look at it almost like, not that I know what this thing is doing, but like I'm tapping into imagination wise this person who exists somewhere, right? So I'm trying to get a better picture of who they are. Like right now, the camera in my imagination's eye is not very focused, right? So I need to do the highlighting. I need to do the shading and that kind of stuff to be able to figure out, you know, give them a better camera, you know, take a picture with a better camera, basically. Again, I'm weird, right? This is how it works for me, you know, trying to get a better camera viewpoint on these people, on this person, so that I can know what they're doing, who they are, what they're experiencing, what their life is like, you know? Okay, so let me make sure. Are you guys able to still hear me and stuff? Because it looks like my internet's trying to go out here. I'm just trying to make sure.